There we are. Finally. I think I'm live now. Wow. There we are. Hey, old curmudgeon. Hey, Mark. I had a little bit of a glitch there. Yeah. Just when I think I'm going live, I end up not being live, and then when I think I'm not live, I'm live. So go figure. Good. I'm glad I seem to be live. Trying a little bit of a different studio setup here, just different camera positions and stuff. So I'll just give it a couple seconds and see if anybody else pops on, and then we're going to get going with our build of the CR-6 SE. Take two, I call it. So just because I like the printer so much, I decided to get another one while it was on sale. And I'll see how the second build goes. Should go easier than the first build because I've had that little bit of experience on the first one. So I didn't get your email. I got your message, and I double checked again, but your email didn't come through. Not sure which one you sent it to, my business or personal, but try sending it to my business one, which is Tim at KKP Kilo Papa .me, M-E. And I'll see if I see it. But no, I didn't see it come through, but mind you, I didn't check my spam folder, so it's possible that it came through in the spam folder and I didn't see it. So that's quite possible. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. It's not doing too bad here. It's cold. It's our coldest day of the year here so far, so yeah. I don't see anybody else on stream yet. But I'll give it a few more minutes and we're going to start going with a build. I want to try and keep this stream tonight under 2 hours if I can. They've been going a little long, which it happens, right? But I'm finding though that when people come back to the channel and look at the streams, not as many views on the long streams, and I don't blame people for that because that can be hard to get through. So yeah. Anyways, so we'll just give it another couple seconds, see if anybody else pops on. Oh, you like the intro with the little guy? Yeah, he's ever since I started YouTubing, and I don't know where, I honestly don't know where he picked it up from, but he didn't pick it up from me. But I said, okay, come on, I need to get you to make me a little video clip of like this video and subscribe. And so yeah, so we did a little bit of practice today. And I've been playing around with a little bit of editing software, so that was my actual first video edit with some sound and a soundtrack and stuff. So it turned out pretty cute, pretty cool. I thought it was cute, so I'm hoping I can keep him on and make him a regular part of that sort of portion of the show. And yeah, some people might call that child labor, but hey, he gets paid in food and a warm house and Christmas presents and toys. So yeah. Okay, well, it's 8:07. I'm going to give it till 8:10, and then I'm going to start unboxing. I see we have 6 people watching right now. So, yeah, I like the performance I'm getting out of this CR-6 SE. That's right behind me, and it's actually running a job right now. So, yeah, I thought I'm going to add another one of these printers to my farm at the office and see how it goes. So found a sale on Amazon, took advantage of that last second sale, so why not? Save it for tonight. Hey, BCK0000, Brian, right? Brian, right? I believe. But yeah, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. I've got to figure out yet how to do a, like the other guys at stream, they do a countdown timer to when their stream goes live. I tried that once and it was a complete disaster. Obviously I did something wrong, so I'm going to figure that out for future live streams anyways. So, hey Mike, how you doing tonight? Auto Drop 3D Mike, good to see you. Good. So I'll figure out that countdown timer, because I'd like to do like a 15-20 minute countdown timer so that there's people waiting on the stream versus me waiting on people to come on the stream. So we'll figure that out. That's maybe a project for this week for me, and I'll try and have that set up for next Sunday's stream. I have a very special guest for next Sunday's stream. Not a guest in that sense, but if I move over, it is that box right there with the white tape on it that came in today. That is next Sunday's stream. My title still says Prusa's Surgery. Oh, does it? Does it? Okay, that's not good. Let me see how I edit that. Let's see. Let's see. While I'm waiting for a couple more people. Huh. I'm running OBS right now. Let me just see. I don't want to hang up on myself. I don't know if I can change that while I'm streaming. It's possible I can. I do not want to... Oh, huh. Well, maybe I can't, but thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can figure out how to change that. Yeah, it does say that right there. Maybe if I go into here. Oh, edit. Oh, I can change it. Ah, here we go. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, fix this up. Let's see if this does it. Let me refresh this screen. There we go. That fixed it. Okay, got it fixed. Let's see, I'll double check. Yes, it does. Thank you very much for pointing that out, BCK000, Brian. Yeah. Again, still learning some of the ropes here. And yeah, but I figured out where to do that. So anyways, we are at 8:11. Only 5 of you on here now, but what the heck, maybe some people will pop in a little bit after. But I'm going to go ahead and get going and unboxing this guy. So let me switch to my new camera view here, which is right there. So let's cut it open, see what's going on. Okay. Shouldn't be any surprises in this one. My last one had a whole bunch of add-ons because it was a Kickstarter edition. This one wasn't a Kickstarter one, so I'll also be interested to see if there's any differences between this one and the one I got on Kickstarter. Whether this was an early edition or a late edition. Okay. We have our standard stuff. Power cord, touch screen, spool holder, part of a spool holder. Some hardware, that's a handle for the top of the printer. Oh, this time I only got a, looks like a 200 gram roll of their white PLA. Last time I got a 1 kilogram roll with the Kickstarter edition, so yeah. So they've cheaped out on the filament a little bit for the shipped edition. There's lots of room here for a full roll of filament, but they're only shipping a 200 gram. Okay, that's fine. Apparently it's good filament though, from other people I've seen that have run this filament, so. Hey Will, how are you? Oh, and the first layer, Richard, thank you for popping in. How are you doing? Appreciate you popping in. Oh, this is the other part of the spool holder. And we can pull this out. Yeah, it's standard for them. It's funny though, they did ship me a full kilo roll in the Kickstarter version, so maybe that was just a Kickstarter thing. Here's the gantry. Let's put this over here for a second. And we'll lift the bed out here. Again, it's really well packaged. Almost too well. There we go. Let's get this off of here. Okay. And all our cables. Love the way they've done the cabling on this one. Okay. So I'm going to try and cheat tonight because I've done this before. I'm going to attempt to not look at the instructions. Ooh. Shouldn't have to. It's a pretty simple build. So we'll open the hardware. It's literally, let's see, four screws. Well, 4 screws to put the gantry onto the base. Then we have another 2 screws for the controller for the touch screen and 2 screws for the spool holder. So first thing I'll do right now though before I get going is I'll just take this glass off. What I'm going to do tonight, no, I don't think I might do it tonight. We'll see. I have that flex plate that came with my Kickstarter edition. I may put that on, but we'll see how the build goes, and I may do that instead of the glass plate tonight to give it a try. Second time's a charm for some magic smoke. No magic smoke tonight, Shane. That was a one-off thing for me. No instructions for 6 bolts. Yeah, no kidding, right? So, yeah. So, we'll see. But you never know. This is me we're speaking about here, right? So, okay, well, and don't forget that in here, in the base, we have the toolkit. So, and this toolkit comes with that really funky, that's actually a neat little spatula. It actually works to get those prints that are stuck down on there a little bit. So that works really well. And then I love the fact that they're starting to include some stickers, right? Because everybody loves their stickers. So I've already got some up on the wall here, so I'll save these or I'll give these away when I send out some of my own stickers. And then there's again these cute little, let's open these cute little snippers that they give you. They are so cool. I like those. I like the size of them. You have to give them a few pushes to get the spring going to get it going, but yeah. And then of course the standard tools, we have the acupuncture needle for clearing the nozzle. We have our Allen wrenches. The only thing I'm disappointed about with these Allen wrenches that they give us in this one is that these don't have the ball ends. So right now I prefer the Allen wrenches that have the ball ends, just to at least get the screw started and get it going fast and on those angles. But yeah, but that's otherwise nice little kit there. Then we have a wrench. This is a different wrench than they're used to giving. This is just the eccentric nuts, and I believe that one end also is perfect size for the nozzle. But what they do include in this kit is they give you a really nice nozzle wrench. So yeah, and you've got your micro SD to USB converter, and then in here we have 2 spare nozzles and some spare couplers for the extruder, and of course a full size. This takes a full size SD card, so that's nice to see. I don't like the micro SD cards. I tend to lose them. So yeah, I like those little snippets. They're great. So yeah, so there's all the tools. So because I prefer the ball end wrenches, I'm going to pull out my own little toolkit here to put this on. Make sure I get the right size for these screws. No, too small. I always do that, always the second time a charm, and there we go, that's the right size for these. So we're going to throw this drawer back in here for now. I'll put all the tools in there later. Yeah, I personally prefer the ball ends on these ones. The little ones, the tiny ones with the ball ends are kind of useless because they break off pretty easily, but PLA prints better. PLA Plus. Oh, okay, I haven't noticed. I've been printing PLA for the last week or so. I just realized that this camera's a bit low, but you can still see me in the screen down. I'm not used to this. You can still see me in the screen down over here, so I'm cutting my head off on this. But this is a new camera angle I'm trying, so right now the important thing is that you see what I'm doing here. So, okay, we're going to bring our gantry up, and this is a pretty easy install on this one. Front of the printer, obviously the nozzle is going to be facing towards you. But before I do that, actually, because I ran into this last time, before I do that, I'm just going to check the bed for any wobble. And I don't know if you can see this, but there is a little bit of wobble in this bed. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the eccentric nuts on this bed. So on this side, there's 2 eccentric nuts on this side, and none on this side. So the eccentric nuts are only on the right-hand side of the printer as you're looking at it, facing the front. So we're just going to adjust those just to snug this bed up a little bit so there's no wobble. And they give you this wrench that reaches in there nicely. And you just want to tighten it up just enough. There we go. Tighten this one just enough so that the wobble goes away, but you don't want to over tighten it. There we go. Still a little bit of wobble there. Because if you over tighten the wheels, what's going to happen, you're going to push those wheels into the V-grooves and you'll end up wearing your wheels out. A little bit more. I can see it. Oh, there we go. This is just easier to do before I put the oh, maybe I'm going the wrong way. Let's see. And even if you're going the wrong way, eventually you're going to tighten up because it's an eccentric nut. Let's see. Oh, that's even looser. Okay. Little bit, almost there. Okay. And it is the back. The front feels fine. Nope. Open build wheels. I've heard of those, but I don't know. They're the ones that are made of they're metal or something, aren't they? Or an aluminum wheel? But so you're going to have metal on metal? I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. Boy. Shooting blind here. There we go. Yeah, I'm still a bit loose here. It's got to be the front one. There we go. No movement. Okay, perfect. Little at a time. Yes, thank you, Richard. I was just concentrating on the back one because it felt like the wobble was in the back. But, well, maybe there's still a tiny little bit of wobble there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now we'll throw the gantry on. And this has little grooves cut out, tiny little grooves cut out, so the gantry's just going to sit there, so you really can't misalign it. Oh, this one's got a little bit of, this one's sort of got a little stretch to it. There we go. And I'm just going to pull this over to the edge of the table so it's hanging over. And that way I can just reach under and put these screws in through the bottom. I should have a camera over here so you guys can see this, but this is pretty easy. The screws are just coming up through the bottom of the printer right up through the gantry. And if you have these lined up in the grooves there, they line up and hit no problem. Hey Ryan, how are you? Hardened polycarbonate. Okay, yeah, I saw those, and those are interesting looking. So I'm not going to tighten these ones up yet. I'm just going to put these up just so that they're in, but not tight. And I'll put the other two in on the other side before I tighten all of them up, just to make sure that everything is as level and straight as it can be. Okay. So those are in there but not tight. And this, I can lift up this side and show you now. So these screws just go in these holes in the bottom, and everything lines up nicely here. So these ones I will tighten up now. And again, you don't want to reef on these too hard. They have lock washers on them, so you want them snug, but not too hard, because you are screwing into an aluminum extrusion, which can strip easily. So, and then we'll tighten up these bottom ones here. I'm not going to get into the technicalities of this too much. We did in the last live stream, first one I built. This does have a Meanwell 24 volt. I believe it's a 300 amp power supply. So they use a great power supply, but I do love the way that they've compartmentalized their the bottom of the printer here. So basically you have, this is the tool drawer, where the tool drawer goes. Under here you have your main board, so you can actually access the main board without uncovering the whole bottom, and then underneath here you have your power supply. So, and while we're on the subject of power supply, on the back of the printer there's this little switch. These generally come set from the factory at 220 volts, but because we're in North America, we want to switch that over to the 110 or 115, whatever it may say. So I'm just going to check this one, and sure enough, it's set at 230. So we're just going to flick that switch over so it's 115. Not so bad if you're in Canada and it's set on 230. All that'll happen, you're going to turn your printer on and it won't come on. If you're in Europe and you're on 230 volts and your printer is set for 115, goodbye to your board. Goodbye to your power supply possibly, and your board possibly. So there we go. Dan, how you doing? Glad you popped in to say hi, Dan. Appreciate that. Okay, next we will pop on the touchscreen display. Yeah. And this guy just sits on with these two little M5 or M4, I think. M5 look like about 5mm screws. Right onto the front of this extrusion here. Oh, I'm getting warm down here with my sweater. I have the furnace turned on because it's so cold out, but it's warm now. So this just pops in like so. Yeah, I guess if you have a 220 volt here in Canada, you can pop it into a 220 volt. Some people do for some reason, for one reason or another. Most standard households though, just 115. Okay. That's all there is to putting the touchscreen on. I love the touchscreen on this thing, by the way. And we will assemble quickly actually, these other nuts. See, that's what I'd get for not reading the instructions, but I'm trying to remember what those. Oh, that's for the handle. That's right. This is basically a tool-free spool holder to assemble. So basically, the spool holder goes on like this. We just simply screw that together, And on this side of the printer, it just pops in, just like so. That's it. And then it folds away nicely for when you're going to transport the printer or put it away. Otherwise, it just sits out there right in the open. Okay. Now we'll throw the handle on the top. That other screw is right here. So these handles work with these little I believe these are M4s. Come on, don't lose it. Through there, and I like to get these little T-nuts started on these handles rather than put them in the groove and try and feed them. Start that on there. And you don't have to put the handle on if you don't want. I happen to be taking one of these printers to the office, so I'm going to do that. And we'll slide that on in the top, sort of center it above the Creality logo. And when you're tightening these T-nuts, you just want to give a little bit of a undo and do up, and you want to make sure that they turn themselves 90 degrees in the slot there, in the V slot, and they'll lock themselves right into place. There we go. So, nice little handle to carry that printer around. Okay, that's all there is to building it. It's done. So, what I'm going to do, since this went really quick, is instead of putting the glass plate back on, Creality sent me, where is it? There we go. Well, they didn't send me. I'm pretty sure I ordered it. Actually, I'm going to raise this camera here because I feel like my head's half cut off here. Let me raise this camera a bit. Let's see. That's a bit too high. Sorry guys, technicalities, right? That's what I get for not having really good cameras. Oh, that's a bit better. That light in behind's a bit bright, but you guys can still see. So, Jerry, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Off Axis 3D. Thank you. Thanks for popping in. So, with the Kickstarter version I got, Creality sent me this really cool. Well, they sent it to me. I must have bought it as an add-on, but this really cool flexible build plate with that beautiful gold surface on it. Look at that. So, let's throw this on. This printer. I'm going to take this sweater off. I'm too hot. Okay. A little warm down here. Oh, that's better. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is, in order to put this on, I have to mount this magnetic bed on here. And in order to mount that magnetic bed, I've got to get rid of some of this hardware on here that's used for mounting the glass bed. So that looks like about this size key. Look at that, first try. So we'll take these off, and these are just these are what lock the glass bed into place. And the nice thing about switching between beds on the 6SE, one thing you'll notice that I didn't point out is that there's no leveling knobs on the bottom of this printer, and that's because the leveling is done through the nozzle, into a pressure, I forget what they call it, but it's a pressure sensor that basically detects the pressure on the nozzle as it hits your bed. And I know some of you are thinking right now, he hasn't hooked up any of the cables. I do remember that, but I'll hook up all the cables after I get the magnetic surface on here. So we're just going to pop these off here. Flatness issues with the CR-6 beds like they do with the other printers. I haven't seen any so far. Mind you, the first bed that I have running over here on this printer behind me right here, it's printing fine. I have no issues with my bed on that one. I have heard issues of people having issues with the bed being flat. I think that's hit and miss just because of how fast they produce them and the volume they produce them. So, but with the type of leveling they're doing and the way that it mesh levels the bed. It should allow for any minor inconsistencies, but if you have a really badly warped bed, which I can't imagine, glass will warp a little bit, but I can't imagine it's so bad that the mesh leveling isn't going to take care of it. So we'll just get rid of these back clips that the glass clips into. This one seems to have, yeah, these have little nuts on the back of them. So do I have a little wrench that can, let's see what size wrench I need for this. I can just use needle nose pliers. Let's go. Okay. Let's just move this bed up to help me. We're back. There we go. They have little nuts underneath these ones. So they haven't started, that I've seen, selling these particular flex beds on their store yet. But depending on how well I like this, I may very well switch the other one to this flex bed. SBC 3D, how are you tonight? Thanks for popping in. Okay. Two of them out here. Let's pop these out. This one. So this is just a little, what I popped out here was just a little spring clip that goes on the back of the bed. The glass slips under that, and then it was locked down by these two on the front. This one, man, I'm glad I got that big monitor. I can read the comments from way over here. That was a good investment. One of those Black Friday sales. Was it Black Friday or Cyber Monday? I don't remember, but it was a good deal on this 34-inch curved Samsung monitor from Best Buy. Okay, we got those off. Okay, your bed seems to have a slight warp in the center. Yeah, some of them do. And again, you may want to get a flex bed for it. Yeah, okay, just reading. So, now we're going to put this magnetic sheet on here now. You want to be careful when you do this, and I know this, I'm in the sign business and I do a lot of mounting of signs. A lot of people would tend to just rip the whole adhesive, or the whole backing off of the adhesive, and then go in here and try and line it up and put it down. But no matter how hard you try, you're going to get bubbles under it. So the easiest way to do something like this is to start peeling your backing. Just about, I do about 3/4 to 1 inch. And just fold that back so that it basically looks like that. And you want to line it up on the back of the bed, line it up, make sure you're square, and push that back side down, that little bit that you just exposed. Okay. Then lift it up, grab that tail end. Now you can pull this all off. I just like to leave that little last bit, but then slowly come with your hand and then just slowly, little bit at a time, smooth that down. Now when I'm doing this on signs in my business, I use a squeegee. I don't want to use a squeegee on this because I don't want to scratch that magnetic surface. And there's no rush, we just take our time, and then this way there's guaranteed to be no air bubbles under there. Okay. So I'll pull that right off now. Try not to touch the adhesive too much with your hands because the grease in your fingers can affect it. But I just got the edge here. And there we go. There's the magnetic surface, smooth as a baby's bottom. I'm a little part of this side by about a 1/64 of an inch, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now the piece de resistance. Beautiful looking plate. And then that'll just snap into place. Look at that. Not as, yeah, it's pretty strong. Not as strong as a magnet as I have wham bams on some of my other printers, but that's still pretty good. That's holding down pretty nicely. Okay, there we go. Now we'll hook up some wires. Isn't that a beautiful looking plate, Mark? It is, isn't it? It's gold. There's gold in this here plate. So, okay. So on the back here, we have 2 wires coming out of the base. So, and then we have 2 plugs. We have 1 plug up here, and the other plug is going to be the one going to the hot end. So let's just lower this down a little bit. So this has dual Z-rod axis on it. So, and it also has a belt up here which is keeping the Z-rods in sync, which is going to prevent you from getting that unevenness or unlevelness of your X-gantry. So 2 plugs. Basically, they're two different sizes slightly, so you really can't plug them into the wrong ones. So if I'm not mistaken, the big one, the wider or the longer and the wider wire goes up to the hot end, and there's only one way it'll go in. So we split that open and it locks itself shut. And then we have the smaller one that goes up to here, which is going to control all of your axis motors. And that's it. And they give us these cute little clips. There we go, just to clip these wires on so that they kind of don't fly all over the place. I may end up switching out these with zip ties, but hey, it works fine. So it's all good. And as I mentioned in the last stream, this PTFE tube they give us is just the standard white Teflon tubing. I'll probably end up switching that out with some actual Capricorn Bowden tubing, but this works for now. Okay, and the extruder is kind of a different style extruder. So instead of actually pushing a spring to load your filament in this extruder, you just basically open that, and that opens the path of the extruder for filament to go in. When the filament's in, you lock that closed, and there's a small little nut in here which is going to be your sort of your spring tension adjustment. I haven't had to adjust that on the other printer though, so it's pretty good. Then we have our Z-axis motors, which are taped down here with just a little piece of tape. Not a fan of the belted together Z-tops. Should never be constrained. Huh. I've got no opinion on that yet. It's been working fine for me so far. So we'll connect this Z motor. And then I just tuck the rest of the cabling back down into the base. And then the same on this side. It's held down with a little piece of tape. There we go. And we'll tuck that back down in so the wire's not sticking out. Something nice I'll point out while I'm on this end of the printer. Some Kickstarter ones that they sent out for testing. I noticed that they had a braided cable thing, a braided cable cover for their hotbed cable. This, they've got a nice beefy, thick beefy cable with an, I mean that's not going anywhere. That's not gonna, you know, these cables underneath for your hot end are not going to be damaged at all. This is a really nice stabilizer for these cables going into the hot end, and that's a nice beefy cable that they've put on there, so good on them for doing that. Okay, and then there's one more thing to plug in over here, and that is the where is that plug? There we go. That's the plug for the optical Z sensor. Let's see. Nope. Hang on. Yeah, there we are. So that is just plugging in here. And it's an optical sensor versus a mechanical one for this one. Okay, and we'll tuck that back in a bit. Hey Shane, Brian, I said hi to everybody. Let's leave Dan's here. Okay, and I believe that I'm all set. Let me just lower this down a bit here. No, the one thing I'm going to check too, is there's more eccentric nuts on here, so I'm going to check the hot end. And there's no wobble at all in that hot end, so I'm not going to touch those. And then I'm going to test these. Now I just want to make sure on these that there's none of these are loose. And they're not. And then same over on this side. This one is, I can free roll that one, I can free roll that one, and I can actually free roll all three. So I'm going to tighten the eccentric nut on here, which is, oh, it's hiding on me, way back here. So I'm just going to slightly tighten this eccentric nut on this side. There we go. That didn't take much, that was just a tiny turn. There we go. Yeah, that's rolling smoothly. Okay, and another nice feature, same thing you're going to see on the Ender 3 V2, is that they have the belt tightening knobs right here, so you can easily tighten and snug up your belts. So let's check our belts. Snug it up a bit. We don't want them over tightened. Want them about tight, just so that you can hear a little bit of a pluck in them. But that's, you'll get a feel for that, and you'll know if you have loose belts when you do your prints. And then there's another belt adjustment here for the Y-axis. But that one feels, that's nice and snug, so we're good to go there. Okay, let's power this guy up. Do I have a power cord hanging off of here already? No, I don't, so we'll use the power cord that came with it. Okay. Okay, there we are. Plug her in. And let's turn it on and hope for some smoke. No, we don't want smoke. And we have no power. Oh, we have, I hear something. Oh, you know what I did? Can anybody guess what I did for a prize? No, I can't give a prize away. One thing I didn't do, oh, and I know exactly what I didn't do, is tucked in right under here. There's one more plug. Mr. Guy here. I got to plug in the LCD screen. Right on the bottom. There we go. How much you want to bet when I turn it on now? I see the screen come on. Look at that. Okay, now we're going to do something magnificent here. No, we're not going to end the stream. Whoever's thought that, stop it. I'm going to try my new close-up camera. Noob. Yeah, I know, Ryan. And a bit of nerves come into play too, so close-up camera. Ooh, let's see if I can do this. So I can get you guys a look at this screen. Touch screen. That's not the best, is it? It's a little bit. You can see it a little bit there. It's a nice reactive touchscreen, so basically the first thing we're going to do is, somebody might say, well, heat it up, but no, when you go level, when you go auto leveling, it's going to heat the bed up to 120 to do the auto level. So we will let that go. There we go. Yes, I did change the voltage. It's one of the first, not one of the first things, but I did change that. I had forgotten to plug in the touchscreen, so I did the same thing last time too. So you'd think I'd learn, right? But third time's a charm, so if I get a third one, you can guarantee I won't make that mistake again. So now we're just waiting for the bed to heat up to 120 for it to probe the bed and do its auto leveling. There we go. Well, the bed doesn't feel warm, but what do I know what 120 should feel like? There we go, so it's going to come down. Let's get that out of the way. Doesn't feel like that bed's warmed up at all. I'll have to check that out after. There we go. Now it's going to probe the bed in 16 different spots. Brian, how are you tonight? Mr. Vines, good to see you. Ah. Yeah, I don't think it got to 120 that fast either, but it feels cool. But I'm going to check that. I'll let it probe away and see what happens. I'm going to do a preheat and make sure that it is in fact heating. So we'll let it probe. I'll do a preheat and I'll probe again, or we'll see. Okay, let's preheat and see what happens. So we finished probing. We'll go back. What I'm going to do though is I can control on the temperature. I can change the PLA preheat settings. They're a little low for my liking. I like to have PLA nozzle temperature preheating in my basement here to 215, and I like the bed to heat to 65. So I'm going to save those settings. Let's go back, and I'm going to go prepare, preheat PLA. Okay. Now we're going to make sure the bed heats up, as a matter of fact, because that didn't feel like a warm bed, but we'll see. And while it's preheating, I'll pick a filament. Well, I'll try the spool that came with it. I'm not a fan of the filaments that come with the printers, but I've heard good things about the filament that comes with the CR-6 SE, and this isn't one of those bags of like a little piece, so I'm going to try this one and see what happens. Let's open her up here. It's not a bright white filament, it's almost like a little off-white. So, but it looks like pretty consistent as far as the thickness of the filament, unlike some other stuff I've seen, so we'll see how that works. Pearl white, John Smith. Yes, that would probably describe the color for sure. Pearl white. Get it on there and ready for when this warms up. So the bed is heating. Okay. Definitely warming up. The hot end's ready. Bed is at 46 out of 65. So yeah, we do have no problem with the bed heating. So why it got to 120 so quick is a good question. I don't have my temperature gun here. Otherwise I would just check the temperature of the bed, but we'll see what happens. But it is definitely getting warm. In the meantime, I'm going to raise the Z a little bit and load some filament here. Oh, let me get these out of the way so I don't lose them. Filament loading's good. The only, if I would say, weakness of this little system they have going here is that in between the filament sensor and the extruder, or the feeder, there's this little tiny gap, and when you feed the filament through the sensor, you've got to sort of line the filament up with the feeder, and it's tough to get my chubby fingers in there, but eventually I managed to. What would be nice, and I suppose one could do the print one, is to have a little adapter, PTFE adapter, a tube that goes in between those. So now it doesn't seem to want to go through. Let me straighten this end out a bit more. Oh, the tip broke off. Well, that's great. Yeah, it was 120 for the novel for mesh leveling, exactly, but it just heated up way too quick. And the bed didn't feel warm, but then again, I don't necessarily know what 120 feels like. There we go. So we're feeding in. Once I hit to the hot end, there we go. I'll just lock the feeder down. We'll come back out here. I don't like this little spool. There we go. It's tiny, tiny. It looks like they had white filament in here prior to this. Okay. And I will just go ahead and I will feed. Let's feed 25 millimeters of filament and feed. And we have filament coming out. Good. That's a good sign. Feels like a degree colder than 121. Thank you. That's a good tip. Good thing to know. Here we go. Get that little bit of white that dripped out under there. There we go. Okay, so we got filament. Oh, stringy, stringy. You still feeding? No. It's just really stringy. You can stop feeding anytime. Okay. Let's see what we got on the SD card. Oh, the other cool thing on this, let's see if we can see it on camera. We have control LED. So we have a blue LED light. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that on camera. Blue LED light. Which is just kind of cool. Filament still oozing out. So let's see what we got on our SD card. Oh, here we go. Now, the other thing that I've heard, they don't give you a, it's a micro SD plug here for hooking up to a computer, but they don't give you a cable. And I have heard people say that when they've plugged a micro SD cable in here, it sparks. Personally, I haven't plugged a micro SD cable into my other one either, so I figure I don't use it. I print right off the card all the time. The only reason I plug in is if I'm going to update my firmware or something, so I'll worry about that if and when it happens. So, yeah, this is the one that nozzle probe sensors for sure. Yeah, it heated the bed to probe, but it just, I don't know if it actually heated it up to 120. So we're going to see what happens on the test print here. So let's see what we got. We got print, and we got nothing in the card, so we're probably dealing with the subdirectory thing again. Yeah, so let's have a look. They tend to put the files in the subdirectory, which can't be read. So bear with me, and I'm going to move these files out of the subdirectory into the main directory. Okay, I'm going to minimize myself for a moment and close that ad. There we go. Yeah, where we go? Model. Oh, we have some new models to choose from here. So let me open a second window here. Open the SD card. And we'll copy all those to the main directory. There we go. Go, close, and eject. And let's bring myself back up here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. They got a couple new models here. Maybe I'll try. I don't know how long they're going to take. We have Dragon. We have Dog 2. We have Dengzi, which apparently is a one of those little guys. I don't remember. We have Cat 3. We have Shoe and Shoe 2. I haven't heard of the Shoe ones. Pot of Greed I did. That's a long print. Pig 4. Kit Loop. Eevee. I've heard of Eevee. And Kit Pugachevs. Anyways, I'm going to try a Shoe one. What do you think? A Shoe? Let's do a Shoe. Always Dragon? No. I got to do a Shoe. I want to try Shoe 2 or Shoe 1. Unless anybody's going to offer to buy the first print, it's my choice. And Loyal's not on the stream tonight, so I think Shoe. Let's see if anybody has anything different, but I think Shoe. Dragon might take too long, although I have no clue how big a Shoe is. Anyways, let's go Shoe 2. Print. Okay, it's going to print it at 200 degrees and 60, so, well, it's their filament, so let's see what happens. Now, we do have a live Z adjust as well on this, and right now it's got its Z offset set at plus 0.2, and that would have been derived from when it probed the bed, so we'll see what happens here. I'm just going to get rid of some of this excess, and when you're doing that, you got to be careful because you don't want to trigger the sensor on the nozzle. Okay. Okay. So methinks that's got to come up a little higher. Let's come up to 30. There we go. 35. So we got filament coming out now. And we're sticking pretty good. Probably go a little lower, so let's go 30. See what happens here. Here, let me get the close-up camera for you guys here. Actually, let me add that camera. Okay, so let me go back to this screen. Hi! I'm going to move this camera now. Oh, there we go. That's not bad. It's because we got white on gold. You should be able to see that pretty good. Hey, Paul, how are you? Which first print were you getting, Paul? Was that... I think that was the Pot of Greed, wasn't it? Yeah, I have that here. But you need to send me your information. Yeah. Yeah, you were getting the Pot of Greed, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't know where to send it. Let's get this up a little higher. Come on. I really got to get myself a better camera one of these days. Hey, when I hit 1,000 subs, I will buy a new camera. There we go. A little bit of a reflection on there. Raise the Z on the camera. Yes. If I go down, yeah, that's. I guess that's okay. Now that first layer, I think I got to go down a bit yet. Yeah, I gotta go down a little lower. Okay. I gotta make sure this looks good because we do have the first layer on the stream. And he's gonna judge my first layer. Aren't you, Richard? So I don't know what kind of a shoe this is going to be. But we're looking pretty good. Let's see if I can get you up a little higher so you can see that layer. I had to adjust it slightly there. The first part of it is not the best. And I can't get in any closer. There we go. Ah. Okay, so you had to, you had a bad mic echo, which I had feedback through. I muted the mic in StreamYard for the second mic. Yeah, I had issues when I even tried to mute the mics before, so I think StreamYard does need a little better support for multi-cameras. Well, while this is printing, I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to pull this drawer out. Let's put that back for you guys. Oh, now we're on to the second layer, and it's going nice and quick. Oh no, we're still on. Yeah, we're doing the second layer now. Just going to throw these tools back in here. Throw this in, throw my little nippers in. Nozzle tool. I got so many spare nozzles with my Kickstarter version, which I didn't order. I ordered the nozzle kits, but with the Kickstarter one, I swear I got 12 nozzles, and I'll never use them. I mean, how often do we need to change nozzles? Not too often. So, okay, looking good so far. Don't know how long this is going to go, but finished building early and we got the print started quick. So I'm going to run till about 10 o'clock. We can just, if anybody has any questions, I'll try and answer. I can't guarantee I can answer all questions, but I will do my best. And we'll let this print. And anybody wants to hang out, you're welcome to. And if we drop down to 2 or 3 people, then I will end the stream. But I don't mind keeping it going as long as you guys want to hang out and watch this go. So, drawer, plug. Run some wood or glitter filament through the nozzle. You'll go through. Yes. I have wood filament up here. I've not successfully run wood filament yet. But I believe, Richard on here, I believe he told me one time that I need a, that I should go to a 0.6 or 0.8 nozzle to run the wood filament, and then it's got to be run slow. So I'll try it again someday, but back when I first started printing, I mean, we're speaking within the first month, I thought, wow, wood filament would be so cool. So, and you guys want to get a good chuckle, you're going to get a good chuckle out of this. I printed, let me find it. I don't have the actual sample, but hold on. There we go. I don't remember what this is called, but it's this sort of, oops, where are we? Where's my camera? There we are. It's this spinny wheel, right? Okay. I've printed a bunch of those, but within my first month of 3D printing on my CR-20S Pro, I tried printing one of these out of wood filament. You can guess how that went. It printed, it did mess up my nozzle, but you can guess how that went with this. Do you think that it did that? No. Anyways, that was my first attempt at wood filament back before I knew what I was doing. So, yeah, brown PLA would be good. Depends on the look you're going for, but I would eventually like to get wood filament to work. I did print some glow-in-the-dark filament. I have a roll of that at the office. I printed that on a hardened steel nozzle on my Anycubic, which has the V6 style nozzle, and it worked well, and it printed really well. Didn't clog the nozzle. It did okay. So, 0.4 nozzle, 215 with a 60 bed. But are you running really slow? I've heard you got to run wood filament slow. So, but again, that was my first and last time trying it. I still have pretty much a full roll up here. So I've stuck to it. So I've run ABS and I've run PETG, and I've actually run some TPU successfully on a few different printers. So, but I have all that and just run it whenever the need arises for those particular filaments. So, but my go-to right now for most of the stuff I'm doing is PLA. 50 millimeters per second on Ender 3, really, with wood. Okay, well, this is doing good. We have a shoe printing. This is going to have an interesting bottom layer texture on it, this one, for sure. It's almost probably going to be a similar texture to the CR-30 mill printer. Migna makes okay printers to do the D2. The D2 works great out of the box. Cool. 45 millimeters on Thinker SE. Okay. Hi Justin, you must be new here. I don't recognize you. Yeah. But welcome. Anybody who's here, if you haven't hit my like button and subscribe, please do if you like what you're seeing here, or give me a thumbs down if you don't like what you're seeing here, because I like honest criticism. So, and leave a comment if you have any comments, or if you have any questions, post them in the chat and I'll see if I can answer them. I'm just going to run this for about another 50 minutes. I'm going to go till 10 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, and we'll keep an eye on this print as it's going. Let me back this up a bit. There we go. Oh, thank you, Justin. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I've got, I'll give you guys all a heads up on next Sunday while we're watching this print. Hang on. I have, this just arrived today via DHL courier. This is, here, let me open the box here. Now, I'm not going to open the box because I'm going to do an unboxing, but I'm going to open my waybill. This doesn't say what it is. I know what it is. This is the Ortour. This is the Ortour Laser Master 2 40-watt laser. So, yeah, I got this when I saw. I got this because I really liked what Jim at Edge of Tech did with this exact laser. I thought he did he's really doing a lot of things on lasers right now, and I really liked what he did with this particular one. The price wasn't bad on it at all, so I thought I'd bring one in, and I'll do a live stream putting this together and see if I can get that laser cutting. In the meantime, I've got to sort of familiarize myself with the software because I am literally brand new to lasers. So I even got, I know that I have to wear goggles while I do it, etc., etc. So that's something that I'm considering this for next Sunday's stream unless something else comes up. We'll see. But I will put out a promo during the week as far as what I'm doing. Yep, safety glasses are main thing with these lasers. Don't mess around with lasers at all, and then nobody comes in the same room while I'm doing my show on lasers. No, 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 no. Don't burn my eye out, kid. Well, thank you for calling me kid. But no, I won't burn my eye out. Yeah. CNC engraving 3018 mil. I'd love that. I love the one, I don't remember the model that Joel reviewed last week. That was a nice engraver, laser engraver. A little bit above my pay grade. So, no dogs, no cats, no kids, no one looks at it. No, I realize that. We have a dog and a child upstairs, but when I do my streams, like right now, everybody's upstairs asleep. At least I'm pretty sure they're asleep, but they know not to come down during my live streams unless it's an absolute emergency. So, and even then, they do knock on the door before they would come down, and I will caution that they do that when I do the laser build. Right, what am I printing? It's just a test print that came on the SD card with this printer. It's just called Shoe 2, SHOE, Shoe 2. So I'm assuming it's going to be a shoe of some sort. The one thing this printer doesn't do, the Ender 3 V2s that I have, they give you an estimate of time remaining in the print, and they give you how long you've been printing. This printer only tells you how long you've been printing. It doesn't give you an estimated time remaining. And because I didn't slice this file myself, it came on the card, I'm not sure what to expect or how long the print's going to go for. So that's why I said I'm just going to go for about another 45 minutes, and then if the print's not finished, if we're not sure what it is, I will do a quick follow-up video during the week showing what it did, and in the meantime I'll probably print a few other test prints off of it just to show people how this printer performed. So yeah. Sequel to shoe number 1. Well, I think I'm doing, yeah, it's shoe. Am I printing shoe 1? I'm printing shoe 2. I should have done shoe 1 first, but I'll do shoe 1 after I do shoe 2. That's hard to say shoe 1 after shoe 2. It sounds like I'm lisping. Oh, that's good. The sequel. Well, this is the sequel to the CR-6 SE, right? So this is number 2. This went a lot better for me than the first one did. So yeah, definitely went a lot better. Wooden Dutch clog. It might be. Judging by the shape, it might very well be, judging by that shape that's on there. And if this is a wooden Dutch clog, then I'm going to have to figure out how to print wood filament and print this in wood filament, right? Right? That's why I have all those spare nozzles they sent me with my previous Kickstarter version. Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments or questions. There we go. Looks like a hook. Tim prints too many of those. What else is new? I'm still printing these right now. Let me get these to show you. By the time the weekend's up, I will have printed. I sound northern. I'm Canadian. By the time this is done, I will have printed over the weekend about 60 of these. Oops, I keep forgetting which camera I'm on. These are these are what I call my COVID keys. I have one customer that I'm printing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these for. So these are printing every day, 5 days a week on 4 printers non-stop at my office. It'll be 5 printers soon. And then every weekend these print on 2 of my printers at home. Right now behind me, these are printing on the CR-6 SE, the first one I built. And then over behind the Flash Forge over there is a Prusa MK3, and these are printing on that as well. So they've been printing all weekend. And then I've got in behind me over here, I got the Mini I could be printing these on right in behind me, but it only holds 4 up on the build plate, so I'm not going to bother doing that when I'm doing 8 up as it is right now. So yeah, but I've sold about over 2,000 of these things so far just in the last few months. So yeah, that's what's keeping all these, and that's why I've got all these printers, keeping them all busy. Well, if you come to Canada, that's great. Canada's a beautiful country. We're all friendly for the most part. We say sorry a lot. And yeah, I would come in the summer, and depending on when you're coming, because depending where you're from, if you're used to winter, but it's beautiful up here in the summer. So what's a decent price for these is what you're asking, Justin? Well, I have no idea what my customer's selling these for, and I don't care. I sell them for $1.25 a piece. So yeah. And what they're selling them for, I don't know. They have an Etsy shop that they're selling them on. Yeah, so. And I say a boot. A boot. You know, you've been on some of the other streams too, but we say, I quite often say Z-axis instead of Z-axis. So there's this whole thing between me and a few folks going on about Z versus Z. And I say both depending on the circumstances. From $1.50 to $12 on Etsy. Wow. I've seen them. They make them. They're made out of steel. They're made out of brass sometimes, aluminum, plastic like this. There's so many different designs out there. I didn't want to sell these by using somebody else's design, so I just went into Fusion 360 and I whipped this one up on my own in about 10-15 minutes, and that way I could call it my own and I don't have any issues with somebody saying, hey, you're selling my design. So came up with this, yeah, and it's there's one customer that saw them. They had an Etsy shop selling face masks already, and so they just added this onto their face mask business, and they just took off like hotcakes. I kid you not, I'm printing them every day, 7 days a week. These are printing. So Vancouver, Canada for Justin. Yeah, I'm out in Calgary. And we are frigging cold right now. I keep looking at the wrong camera. And the reason is, my main camera used to be in behind me here. And now I've changed it. I've got a Thronmax boom here behind me with my main camera that I brought closer to me. Because you used to be able to see my whole workbench on the main camera, but I didn't like, it was too busy behind me. So I moved this main camera a little bit forward, but I'm so used to looking at the back camera, and that back camera is now what's acting as my build camera. So the back camera is this camera here versus the main camera, which is right in front of me. So I keep looking at the wrong camera and it's weirding me out, but hey, that's okay. I need a new director. Yeah, I do. This is not necessarily an easy thing to do on your own, and especially when I got to get up and move a camera or get up to do something. So I need to hire a director. Niagara Falls, 34 Fahrenheit tonight. Yeah, we're minus 14 was our high today. Minus 14 Celsius was our high today, and that's been the coldest we've been so far this year, because we had a mild beginning of December. So yeah, it's bone chilling cold right now, but it's a dry cold. So Cecil B. DeMille, I am not. Fusion Tinkercad, yeah. Fusion took me a long time to learn. I've been tinkering. I get it, tinkering. See what I did there? I've been tinkering with Fusion for a year and a half now, and the hardest thing for me, and I assume the hardest thing for me with Fusion was getting around like when I was naive when I first started it. I thought, well, you just bring a square, you bring whatever, and boom, you're going to make it 3D. But was Sketches. Sketches was the hardest thing for me to get around. But once my mind grasped the concept of Sketches, it was like, wow, this is what you can do. So now I watch a lot of tutorials. I watch a guy named Lars Christensen. I think most people who've used Fusion have heard of him. I love the way he teaches. I love his tutorials. I'm so glad he's back teaching Fusion 360 again and putting tutorials on YouTube. And so I've learned a lot from him. So I've designed a few things that have actually surprised myself that I designed, like boxes that are, boxes with tolerances and so forth. And yeah, and I'm having quite a bit of fun with it. So my next project on Fusion 360 is going to be a very unique. I'm going to call it a maker coin, but it's not really going to be a coin. It's going to be a maker piece to go with my channel. I have the idea up here, but within the next few weeks over the holidays, I'm going to try and put it into Fusion, and I'm going to come up with a really unique maker piece that I can possibly send out to people. Tinker around with Fusion, yes. Dry cold or dry heat? Dry is not the key word, no. Hey Gary, how are you? Thanks for popping in. Minus 23 in Cold Lake, 32 with wind chill. Yeah, Cold Lake is cold. That's Cold Lake, Alberta, if I'm not mistaken. And thanks for popping in, Radioactive Scale. I don't believe I've seen you before. So subscribe to my channel, like me, and you know, I'm producing more and more content as we go. So I'm one of the newbies. You guys like my sign up here? It doesn't do it justice on the camera. The colors that are... I had a really cool one going with a 3D Creality CR-6 SE and a sort of a curve thing, but for some reason I lose the... These are these Logitech cameras, and you lose the color. You lose the color in them, so I just thought I'll just go with a plain... That's actually bright red, but it doesn't really show up bright red on the camera, so yeah. Cold Lake, Alberta. Yeah, that's way up there. A firefighter. A fighter. Yes, Fighter Town. Oh, Fighter Town. What's a Fighter Town? A playground slide set for the shelf elf. That ought to be fun. That ought to be cool. The refresh rate. Ah, okay. That's because it's a cheap camera, right? Or do I think I can go in and adjust the refresh rate, but that's all technical mumbo jumbo to me. I'm not quite familiar with that. People more advanced with the cameras and stuff are probably... Richard's probably a lot more knowledgeable on that, and Brian, who works on the first layer with him, would probably know exactly what that means, but I'm not quite sure. I've heard of refresh rate on monitors and stuff, but I'm not quite sure about that on these little Logitech cameras. So, Canadian Armed Forces. Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. We don't need AC here. No, we do get warm days in the summer, though. We get up in the high 30s sometimes. 30, 35, which is you know, between 90 and 100 Fahrenheit. So, but that's far and few between, and it usually doesn't last long. But I do have portable air conditioners that we put in the windows here, if we need them in the summer. So, but they don't get a ton of use. I don't like to use it because, of course, our electrical bill goes up, our power bill goes up. So, yeah. You made dishes and food bowls for her and the elf pets last season. Oh, very cool. I wonder, that elf on the shelf thing has been going for a few years now. I wonder when that's going to fizzle out. We don't have any elves on the shelves in our house right yet. What's that, Jerry? You what? YouTube? It's not, I know it's there to learn. It's that, do I want to learn it? I suppose if I'm streaming, I should learn it. But with these cameras, I don't know if I can do much with them. I mean, I'm sure there's settings in OBS and in the other software I use. I'm sure there's settings in it for refresh rates and stuff, but I fear that if I mess around with that stuff too much, that it's going to affect my video quality or something. But I just don't know if I want to learn it. I suppose, though, if I get a better camera someday, that I'll have to learn it. I had to learn a little bit about audio and how to set up a few different things like that. But and lights. I mean, I've got a couple lights set up in here. Fortunately, this screen right here is blocking the one light because I think it's annoying when that light's in the background. So, but you know, I'll learn as I go along. But yeah, I've heard of YouTube, I think. A mental workout every night for a month. I bet. Jerry is on a roll, isn't he? The DeWitt sign is cool. Is that soda? Which DeWitt sign? This sign right here? Usually, yeah, no, that's just... Is that soda? Is what a soda? Where am I looking? You got me confused, John. I'm using I have XSplit and OBS. I did a 1-year subscription to XSplit, or did I do a forever subscription? I forget. But I thought I'd try OBS, so I'm using OBS right now. See, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. I'm using OBS right now, just because I want to get used to both. Why? I don't know. Because I like learning stuff, except for refresh rates. I don't understand the question, John. Is that a soda? This is water. Those DeWitt signs I print at my day job. I make signs and so forth, so that's part of my full-time business. So I made those decals myself. Oh, okay, your second's not as good as your first. Well, that's one of the reasons I wanted to do a live build on this one tonight, to see if it does perform as well as my first one did. So far so good. And I know it's hit and miss with those things, but again, you got to figure that how many thousands of these things they've made, there's going to be glitches. But I don't know. I've heard the customer support's not that good so far on them. But then again, sometimes there's just people that do nothing but complain, and they don't actually get proactive and try to fix it, or try to really contact the proper support channels the proper way. So I don't know, it's hard to say. Oh, you were looking at the DeWitt signs, wondering if the DeWitt is the name of a soda. No, okay, I get it now. I get it. No, that's my actual logo. That's my stream. My channel name is DeWitt 3D. I've actually got to switch those. I've got the new logo, as you can see on the bottom. No, it's this side, on the bottom corner of the screen, right there. That says DeWitt 3D. So I'm going to change these signs that are up here to match that logo. Okay, Jerry, you have a good night. Thank you for popping in. I really appreciate, as always, when you come and visit my stream. So you have a great night. We'll talk to you this week, I'm sure. I'll see you online. Just don't mention issues to the sexy cyborg for a little bit. No, I heard about that. I don't know the whole story behind it, but I heard there was an issue with a little bit of back and forth bantering. So hello, Lasanglier Quirit. I probably butchered that. How are you? Yeah, watch some tutorials on Fusion 360 for sure, Mark. Number 1, learn sketches. Number 2, and then you basically go from there. But try not. That's a very high-end software, so just kind of learn the basics to begin with. Look up a guy named Lars Christensen. He is very good at teaching that software. Hello, Crimson. How are you? Thanks for popping in, you guys. We're just, we built the, right there, look at that. I'm getting good at this. We built this CR-6 SE. This is the second one, and this is just running a test print right now. So the build went fine. I put on the Creality Flex plate that came with the Kickstarter edition of my printer, the previous printer I bought. And so I decided to just throw this flex plate on to see how this works, and so far so good. I'm interested to see what the bottom surface looks like, but I have a feeling this test print's a long one, so I may not get to show you guys until the next stream. And there I was looking at the wrong camera again. I got to stop that, so I'll get used to this because I like this setup better. And you guys popping in, hit that like button if you like what you're seeing here, and hit the thumbs down if you don't. I honestly appreciate constructive criticism, whether it's good or bad. And also, if you haven't subscribed on the channel, I'd appreciate that. I'm going to be producing more and more content as time goes by. Hopefully some good content. It's not always going to be live. I just downloaded and tried a new video editing software today. If you check out the intro video to this video, I use this. It's the first time I've ever used video editing software other than the iMovie on my phone, and so it was called Movavi. Anyways, first time I've used like real video editing software, and I'm kind of happy with the results that came out for my promo video for this live build tonight. So you can check that out if you want. So now that I've got a little bit of a handle on video editing software, I'm going to start doing some recording and then editing a video and then putting some posts like this, because I know that not everybody likes to watch live streams back again. And I know if I want to increase my viewership, etc., I'm better off to do some pre-recorded stuff and edit it so that it's down to a reasonable time frame and put it up. So that's sort of my goal for the future, but I will continue as long as as long as I'm able to. I will continue to do my Sunday night 8 o'clock live streams. That may change in the future, who knows, but that's sort of my plan for that. And then to release 1 or 2 at the most during the weeks, some pre-recorded stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, the build was very easy. This was my second one, and literally there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws involved in this build. So this is probably the easiest printer that I've ever built. I would say next, it's the opposite of the Prusa MK3. This was done in less than an hour. It probably could have been done quicker if I wasn't chatting at the same time. And then my longest one was the Prusa MK3, which was like a 7-hour build. So this went very fast, very well, and fortunately everything is running really well on it so far. Orson Welles. Okay, well, I'll check my spam folder tomorrow at the office, Mark, and see if that file did come through. I'll have a look at it. I will have a look at it and let you know. CR-30 stream. Print a pair of flip-flops for yourself. Okay, I can do that. They're size 12, so yeah, they won't be... Yeah, I could print a pair of flip-flops on any printer here, but I could do that. For sure. Let's have a quick peek, see how this is coming. Let's see if this works. There we go so far. It looks like about a 25% infill going on here. It's hard to focus on that white filament. There. I don't know what kind of a shoe this is going to be. Maybe it is going to be like one of those wooden clogs. Not a bad first print. It looks good, pretty good, and it's sticking really well. I mean, this is quite the textured surface. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, and I mean, that is sticking extremely well. The extrusions look, the walls look really good. Yeah, there's no lifting at all on this bed happening. So, yeah, no, it's looking really good so far. Oops, there's that annoying bright light I mentioned. There we go. I could change this sign and have some fun with that. I'd like to do it while I'm on a live stream, but I have to switch my Wi-Fi in order to do that. And if I switch my Wi-Fi, I lose my connection to the stream that's going on to the right, so I would lose my comments. So don't want to do that. And actually, I'd lose, this wouldn't be able to stream at all because it's streaming over Wi-Fi. So I guess that's the one downfall of that sign, is I have to pre-program it before I actually start a stream. Free beer. Free beer, yep. Oh, I wish, right? It's water for me tonight. I got tomorrow's a work day, early work day. Or as I still call them, tomorrow's a school day, because I'm always learning on the job. So I've got the other things I got coming up. I'm waiting for from Repcord. I'm waiting for, they're sending me a couple parts for the rep box that were missing in my original shipment. They're taking really good care of me, so excellent customer service. Kudos to them. I offered to pay half the shipping just because kind of guy I am. It was their mistake, but I said, you know what, I'll pay half the shipping if you want to send these parts to me. And he said, no, they're going to ship them out to me, so those parts will probably be in within the next week or two. And then I'm going to get back to finishing up my video for the rep box. That's probably one that I will do a record with some edits and then just post it as a edited video, because to do another live stream on that one, there's so much involved in building that yet in little pieces and tinkering back and forth with the instructions that would just drag on, I think, far too long for a live stream. So I'll probably end up finishing the rep box. But what I will do when I'm done that is I do want to do a stream connecting the rep box, putting the filament in, and hooking up my Palette Pro 2, and I want to hook that up and get that going through my Prusa, and trying a multicolor print, which I have not done in a long time through the palette, so that'll be an interesting stream to do. Pooch is a good man. I mean, it was right from, he came on the stream when I was doing the first live stream on the rep box. Thankfully he didn't stick around too long, because it went on too long in my opinion, but yeah, he had no problem with sending me out the parts that was missing. So that's one way to bring viewers, John. Yeah, free beer. Although, like, maybe I'll try that next time, say free beer, and people will put the word out, say, hey, this guy's offering free beer. But yeah, I got the palette. I purchased it through my business 2.5 years ago. It was on sale. It was actually a refurbished one. It worked fine. It was factory refurbished, etc. And then after I got it, there was an upgrade to it, so I did the upgrade. So the upgrade made it even, it was refurbished, or refurbished-er, or more refurbished. So, and it worked well. Somewhere here, I have the first print I did on it, which is the calibration key. Beginner's luck, I suppose. It was on my CR-10S Pro at the time, and the calibration key came out perfect. The purge block is supposed to look a certain way if it's calibrated right, and it all came out perfect, so that was kind of lucky. But and then I did a few prints on it afterwards, and then I took it off and got busy with other things. I just haven't had a chance to play with that again, so I want to get back to using that. So Drinkovision, hey, there, you could do that, Drinkovision, and combine that with Smell-O-Vision, and we'd have something good going here. So yeah, I don't think this print's going to finish on this stream. We got about another 20 minutes to go, and we can keep talking. I got enough people hanging around here, which I really appreciate, you guys hanging out with me. What else can we chat about here? What else is on the go here? We've got the CR-30 coming next year. Don't know when that's going to come. I've begged and reached out to Creality to get it to me early. My good friend Richard with the First Layer, I don't know if he's still on here or not, but he's offered to come on and help me with that build. And I'm going to, we're going to work on it. I'll loan it to him for his channel, whatever he wants to do, and he's going to come out and help me and maybe come on my channel with me, which would be great. And Brian's even invited as well. So if you're out there, Brian, you're invited as well, in case Richard doesn't invite you, but you both are welcome, because the more heads, the better. That's the bell printer, John. Yeah, the CR-30, the Naomi Wu print mill. So I got in on the flash sale on Kickstarter for it. So I got in less than half price of what it's going to retail for, apparently. So yeah, I'm excited for it. So not necessarily disappointed that I don't get it early, because I will get a post production version that's probably got all the bugs worked out of it. But yeah, I'm really excited to try it. And I tell you, once I get it, if I'm still printing these things the way I am, whoops, if I'm still printing live streams, you gotta love them. If I'm still printing these things the way I am, this would be perfect job for the bell printer, because I could leave that thing running all weekend go back and have a whole bunch of these things printed, because these things would probably print pretty quick on that belt printer. There goes another one. So yeah, but I plan to have jobs in the future where I do multi prints, so that's going to come in handy, hopefully. So, and it'll allow me to increase my offerings to my customers, because I'm getting more and more interest in 3D printing at the business. So it is very nice to have friends. Yeah, it definitely is. So friends and family, you know what? Life is about friends and family. Everything else is just material, but friends and family come and go, but you got to really cherish them when you have them. So, and I cherish all the friends and family I have, and I mean that sincerely. Yeah, I mean, you just got to find an item that's going to sell and go for it, and find the market. Life is too short. It really is. Yeah, layer lines. What was I watching today? Whose video did I watch today? I don't remember. And he was printing. He did the 3D benchies, the benchies in different orientations on the belt printer, and it was interesting when and where it needed supports. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ear savers given out too. I donated probably 4,000 of those things over the last 9 months. So, and that's it. I'm done with those, because number one, the request has gone way down on them now, and number two, it's just I've got so many other things on the go right now. So I am, yeah. And back to the belt printer thing. That was the guy who did the skateboard. Yes, thank you. He did the skateboard as well, which was very cool. I can't wait to. I forget his name, but he was the guy that ended up fracturing his pelvis or something. So I can't wait to try that. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Travis. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. We'll talk to you. We'll see you. See you on the next one, next weekend or in between, whatever. So have a good sleep and have a great week. Okay, stay safe this week. Yeah, I try to get out there and support all the YouTube channels I can. There's so many out there, and I keep coming across new ones and new people and so forth. So. And now it's becoming a balance of time, because it's taking some time for me to do these streams and to set up the streams, and now I'm going to be doing some video editing, which is going to take even more time. So I got to make sure I keep that life balance in check, and I can't be ignoring the family at all. I can't be ignoring the job. So there's that little bit of a balance act that I'm going to have to learn how to manage coming into 2021. Elvis the Pelvis. Lucky his name wasn't Enos. There we go. That's a good one. That just came out of nowhere, didn't it? Oh, I better pick this up before I forget it. I have to deliver these tomorrow, or she's going to pick them up tomorrow. Okay, Will, you have a good night. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm going to be shutting this down in about 10 minutes anyways. This print is not going to be ready, unfortunately, to show off tonight, but I will present it during the week. Do I look out of focus in there? No, that's just my stream. The once been a man from Nantucket, yeah. Okay, Paul. Have a good night, Paul. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. They're dropping like hotcakes now, people. Yeah, it's oh, so much to do. So much to do, so little time, you know. Thanks so much for that, John. Appreciate it. Okay. 3D Printer General. That's right. That's his stream. Yeah, I've subscribed to him, but yeah, he's the one. Yeah. Almost midnight there, huh? Okay, we're approaching 10 o'clock here, so you're in the east, obviously, if you're 2 hours ahead of us. Well, this will be good. This will be, okay, you can email that, Paul, to, email that to, DeWitt3dcanada@gmail.com. My email address should be in my YouTube stream about. If you go to my YouTube channel and go to the About, my email address is there. So it's DeWitt3dcanada@gmail.com. And I've got your Pot of Greed, which is just, I'm pointing to it, and I will get that out to you. Okay, La Sanglier, I'm butchering your name, but thank you for popping in. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome. And I saw you subscribed. I think you subscribed, but thank you very much, and I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next stream. Ah, okay, good. It didn't stop your print, but it kicked you off the stream. That's weird. Oh, good. Awesome. Cheers to you too. Talk to you next time. Have a good night and have a safe week. I keep looking at the wrong camera. Ay, ay, ay. I think I'm gonna put a big red light above this one here so that I know that that's the camera I should be looking at. So it's what I get for mixing my setup, but I kind of like this a little better, so I feel more comfortable with the way this is working out. Got rid of my overhead cam. I might put another overhead cam in one day, but I don't really feel that that was necessary. Yeah. Well, okay, Radioactive Scale RC, thank you so much for popping in. You have a good night, have a good week, and we'll catch you on the next one. It's not down there. I just had to pick something up. I should put my tools away too. Where did I put them? So I like this flexible print surface. I'm hoping that Creality puts it up for sale eventually here. Wow. Okay. Put them as a separate spare parts drawer. Check this out, you guys that weren't on the other night. I printed, when I fixed the Prusa Mini, I printed this benchy after I fixed the the thermistor cable on the hot end on the Prusa Mini. That is one of the best benchies I've printed ever. I mean, wow. It's beautiful. Nice smokestack, clean layer lines. But gotta love the Prusa Minis. Anyways, just thought I'd show that off. Kind of matches the COVID keys. You'd almost think it was the same color filament. My email address isn't down there? Really? Okay, hang on, it should be. Let me check. Let me just check. Let's see. Yeah, if you go to my main, like my YouTube homepage, where my banner's across the top, and it's got like 150 pictures of me, and then there's a tab that says About. If you click that About, if you click that tab that says About, and you scroll down a little bit, there'll be a little button that says View Email Address, and if you click that button, It's going to say, are you a robot, blah, 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 and it'll pop up my email address. But it's real easy to remember. It's dwit3dcanada@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat here. There we go. It's in the chat. Okay, BCK 000, Brian, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. I'm going to shut her down in about 4 minutes here. And then I will either live or record a video and show everybody how this print turned out. So, and I'll do some more test printing this week on it. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you dropping in as always. Appreciate all you guys supporting my channel. Oh, look at the mess I'm making with all my prints falling over. See, that's why I put this camera and changed it. You can't see the mess on my desk. But if I switch to this camera, you can see all... Oh, you still can't see the mess on my desk. Oh, I did good there. Look at that. See? It's all about hiding the messes. Yeah, I guess crank up the FR percentages. I don't understand completely how that works on here. I don't know if live streams, if everybody that hangs out on the live stream, if that counts for X amount of hours of streaming. So I don't... and that's here nor there. It's going to take me a while to get to that magic 1,000 anyways. So, and I'm not in this for the money, honestly. Well, isn't that what everybody says? But I'm just in it because I enjoy doing it. I really do. But yeah, I've got one of these days I'll learn. I've actually subscribed to a channel that teaches a lot about YouTube streaming and videos, and that's the reason if you go to my my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've updated all of my thumbnails, because I've learned recently that a good thumbnail makes a huge difference, because you don't want a very busy thumbnail. You want a thumbnail that basically somebody can come to and look at and right away know what that video is about. And they're more likely to click on it than a thumbnail where it's like, I have no clue what this video is going to be about. So, yeah. So, learn and go. Live and learn, live and learn. And I love learning this stuff. And my next big challenge is going to be video editing. And then, obviously... it's going to be frame rate or something, or whatever that rate was on the camera, so you can see my sign in beautiful color. Okay, thanks, Paul. I'll get that out this week for you. Let's see. It's right over here. Here we are. This is the guy. Right there. Beautiful print, too. You can probably even, that's probably just a perfect size for a shot glass. So I'll make sure I get that out to you. Audio to your videos of print jobs that aren't time lapse. Next hurdle, yeah. Yeah, that'll be. I've got a couple. I did a whole, I did a whole series of videos last week. I forget which, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday night. I spent a good 2 hours recording video of, for something I want to do on my FlashForge Creator 3, because there's not a lot of videos out there, and talking about some of the prints. And little did I know, because I did it with OSB, OBS, and I completely forgot to add the microphones. So I'm talking away on these recordings, and I plan to edit them, and I'm talking away. When I watched it back, there was no audio. So I'm going to have to definitely do some audio dubbing over those videos. So that's going to be something for me to learn as well, and that's going to be all new to me. So that'll be fun. I am on Facebook, Paul. I'm on Facebook as DeWitt3D, so facebook.com/DeWitt3D. And then I am also on Facebook under my name, Tim O'Coin, so my personal Facebook as well. But you can find that through DeWitt3D as well. So yeah, I can put I think I can type a link on here because I'm the. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's my Facebook right there. And I'm on Twitter. Twitter at DeWitt3D. The only thing I'm not on right now is Instagram. I don't know. Instagram, do I need it? A lot of people say, yeah, I get on Instagram. A lot of people say it doesn't matter. So we'll see. Maybe as I go along. My beautiful wife is a social media guru, so I'll chat with her about maybe where the best places to be are, because she's the one. She does a lot of social media as a living, so she'll be able to give me good advice on what to do as far as which ones to be on, whether I should be on Instagram, etc., etc. So. Okay, no audio sources at all, so you've got to go back and dub over a lot of stuff then, I imagine, huh? On this new software that I'm trying, which is Movi. I just mentioned it earlier. It's and then Richard has given me another one that I'm going to try too. But on Movavi, which I'm sure it's like on most of these video editing softwares, you can have the video and then basically watch your video while you do audio over it, and then you can actually move your audio to wherever you need to on the video. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure, because it's all about the timing, right? Really, you don't want to. You only have such a long video clip, and then you have to say so much, but you want to make sure you don't over or under say what you need to do for that particular video clip. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, what the heck, right? It's going to be interesting to try. It's going to be a challenge, but if you're anything like me, I love learning new stuff, and I love the challenge of it, and it's very rewarding when it actually gets finished. I was so proud of that promo video I did today, and it was like, yes, because I mixed a graphic with some music, with some audio that I was speaking, and then I brought in another video clip and mixed some text and some graphics over that and so forth. So it was kind of fun. Night, Mark. We'll talk to you later. I'll check that email this week at work. I will get back to you. I'll check my spam folders. If I don't get it, I'll give you a call or something. Or you know how to get a hold of me. You can call me at the office anytime. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's late for you out there, and we'll talk to you next week. Spare phones, yeah. I don't have any spare phones yet, so my next spare phone is going to be my iPhone 11 Pro, because I'm planning to get an iPhone 12 Pro one day. So it's a hell of a nice spare phone, though. So we'll see, because I can sell it, but it owes me nothing. So, well, folks, it's 10 o'clock. That was my deadline, so I appreciate everybody stopping in, and thank you all again for supporting my channel and coming in and being on these streams. I will see you guys next week. I may or may not do that laser. I don't know. We'll see how the week goes. I'm going to think about it, but I'll definitely have something going on in a live stream next week. So something hopefully as exciting as it was tonight. Yeah, right. So thank you guys for dropping in. Share this. Tell anybody who might be interested in this channel to subscribe. Come and subscribe to my channel. That would be great. I plan on continuing to produce some hopefully helpful and entertaining content. And yeah, thank you everybody. Good night, and we will talk to you guys next week. Stay safe this week. Say hi to, smile at, or just give acknowledgement to a stranger, because you never know who they could be. And I appreciate everybody's support on here, and thank you very much. Everybody have a good night. Till next time. Bye-bye.